I'm never gonna stop being a whore. I just never gonna grow out of this. All right. What are
Oh
you watching,
shit.
man?
So right now, I'm honestly haven't really been watching too many like new shows. I'm thinking of anything I've already mentioned. Doing my How I Met Your Mother rewatch. I've just been watching movies for the most part. So I just started watching Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
Um, the other day. It's a long movie, but it was like late at night, so I didn't have time to finish it. So I'll probably finish that tonight or tomorrow.
Is it a
Um,
podcastable movie?
yeah, I think so. It's one of the great, novels of all time. So I think that's definitely
How long is
podcastable.
the runtime?
It's like 2 hours, 2 hours 15, something like that. Nothing
Oh,
too
okay.
crazy.
I thought when you say long, to me, anything
Oh,
two
like
and a
three
half is
hours.
when you start getting long.
Fair.
To me,
Yeah.
generally speaking, a movie needs a really good reason to be longer than 2.5 hours.
Right.
Um, it's rare that a movie is longer than 2.5 hours, and I'm like, it needed to be that long.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like even Oppenheimer did not need to be that long.
Yeah. It's based on great literature, so
Yeah,
you kind of got to do it justice.
but 2 hour, two
Um,
15, that's not long to me. That's pretty standard
yeah, not at
runtime.
all. And it's a fucking loaded cast, so you know you got to give everybody enough scenes and shit like that. So right now I'm currently watching that. What else am I watching? Uh, just rewatched the Batman, the Robert Pattinson version.
That one was really bad.
Uh, you didn't like that movie?
No,
Interesting. Was it
I
too long
honestly
for
only
you,
made it
or was it the
one
pacing?
too long. An hour into it, nothing actually happened, so I shut it off. So I can't actually say that I've actually finished it. It was like an hour into this, and
Okay.
there was no villain established yet.
Yeah.
The
It's
one thing about
okay.
Nolan's trilogy is the villain is you see the villain before you see Batman. Um,
Right.
it's like, and to me that's the pinnacle of superhero movie making is The
Fair.
Dark Knight, The Dark
100%.
Knight Rises,
Yes.
until that third act. But it's just like to
You got to throw
remix.
Batman Begins in there too. That's some fucking amazing storytelling.
Yeah, it
People
is.
always sleep on that movie.
It is. And so, I love Bane, I love Joker, and the problem with Batman
Yeah.
Begins is Ra's al Ghul just doesn't isn't as good a villain as Bane and Joker. I mean, Bane and Joker are, that's
They're the icons.
they're
Scarecrow
I
was
mean
good
they're
though.
more compelling than Batman, you know.
Yes, that's true. They are. They are.
And so it's just like, anyways, so that's the pinnacle of
Yeah.
superhero storytelling to me. And so I hated Batfleck. That was whack.
That one wasn't his fault. That was just bad movie making right there. But
Yeah, I mean,
I hear
Ben
what you're saying.
Affleck's a legend, but like, no one bats a
Yeah.
thousand. Those movies were whack.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Robert De Niro did those Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers, and those movies were ass. So, like sometimes you just gotta get money. So,
Yeah.
and then like the Batman, an hour into it, there's no villain. Like I'm like,
True.
I thought the movie was muted for a second. I'm like, are people talking? Turn the shit off. It's not for me, man.
Yeah, so I rewatched that. Yeah, I pretty much kind of almost watched that as like a mini series because it is 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so I just do like an hour at a time, pretty much an hour a day, whatever. What else am I watching right now? Um, so currently, I just added up some new movies to my queue, on Amazon. I love like old movies, so there's they have all the old like TCM or Turner Classic Movies for those who don't know. Like epic movies like Ben-Hur, Greatest Story Ever Told, Ten Commandments, that kind of stuff. So I have all that in my queue loaded up. So I'll probably knock those out in the next couple weeks.
Have you ever considered a
Um,
Criterion membership?
oh, I hadn't thought about it. That's a good idea.
I think they have a streaming
Um,
service.
yeah,
But
they're kind of linked with Max.
I know that their actual physical
A lot
media
of
is
them are
like
up there.
the best quality as far as visual and audio. Even by
Yeah,
Blu-ray standards,
true.
it's fine-tuned. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
if that's your
And
TV
I think
back there,
just
you might
for
have to upgrade it to get the real the real benefit of the Criterion. But
yeah,
for a movie, a cinephile, if you will, that's like
yeah,
the cinephiles that I know, people who like review. I guess we review movies, but the people who
right.
like formally review them as like part of the press have like Criterion memberships. So think about it.
Correct. Yeah, that's true. And also I'm very big on like getting DVDs still. I still buy those from time to time. So certain movies, like if they're classic enough, I would just go ahead and buy the DVDs. 'Cause I feel like you just got to have those for the repertoire. You know, in the same way that you have certain books you have to have a hard copy of.
Yeah, I steal them. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive
Um,
and a 2 terabyte hard drive and a VPN, and I think I got like
yeah.
1,000 plus gigs of movies. That's what I do for this pod. If the I look up the movie we're watching, if it's not on any streamer, I
Hmm.
head straight to my VPN and find a 1080p Amazon web rip,
Yeah.
5.1 Dolby Digital Sound, 1080p. It looks like I paid for it on the website. So I had that bitch
Yeah, I
in
will say,
15 minutes.
Amazon's getting pretty on me about like renting these movies every week.
Just get a VPN. My VPN is through. We don't do free promo, but I'll tell you who my VPN is
Right.
through. $60 for 2 years, and
Shit,
it's
okay.
like I click three buttons, and it my IP you can't, and then I click three buttons, and it puts my IP
Yeah.
in a different location, and then I can just download whatever movies are available. I'm not paying for any of these damn
Sweet, okay.
movies. Like, if it's not already on an app that I already have that's free, no, that's
Yeah,
what I get the search or the VPN for.
I feel you.
I am embarking on my annual summer Wire rewatch. I think The Wire is the greatest
Okay.
television show of all time. And so I once the NBA playoffs wind down, obviously the NBA playoffs are still going on, but it's no longer every
Right.
night. And so
Right.
to give me like something to do if it's not a pod watching night or a pod recording night or an NBA game night, I watch one
Hmm.
episode of The Wire. And just like I do that every
Is an
year.
hour
Yeah, episodes. Yeah, it's
or 40 minutes? Yeah.
about an hour. This was back
Oh yeah,
pre-commercial,
before commercials. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So this was premium HBO, no commercials. So you got about an hour,
Yeah, classic
5 seasons,
HBO shit.
60 episodes, and so that just takes me through the summer. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't like the binge stuff, so it's just an episode a day. So
Got you.
and so that
Okay.
that kind of fills the gaps in between um when I'm not recording for the pod, not prepping for the pod, and no sports are on TV. So,
Okay.
so we have a
Do you
final four. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, so when you rewatch the show, because you watch it every year, do you
Yeah.
still pick up new stuff
Yeah,
like
it's like a
or
Bible.
like shit that
It,
you didn't notice?
religious people will tell you it doesn't matter how many times you read the Bible, you pick up something new every time. And The Wire is like that.
Right.
The Wire is like that. Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt is like that. Um, that's it. Those are those are two pieces of medium for me
I love
that
thinking
are
like
like they are
the
biblical in
Bible,
nature.
reasonable doubt, The
Correct.
Wire.
Correct. And every time I watch them, it's like I get a new piece of insight.
Yeah.
And so yeah, those are my those two pieces of media are biblical to me. So
Okay. So let me ask you this. So if you were to get a tattoo of one quote from The Wire and one quote from Reasonable Doubt, what would it be?
reasonable doubt will be he's talking to his mom and she says I had dreams of snipers hit me with a fatal shot. Those nightmare bombs. Those are nightmares, mom. And he says, this is the part I would quote. He says, "Those dreams that you say you got, they give me the chills, but these meals, well, they make me hot." He's basically saying, "I
Mm,
understand what I'm doing is very high risk, but I we have to eat." And
fuck it,
so,
we ball.
in the beginning of Reasonable Doubt, when he says, when we hustle out of a sense of hopelessness, sort of a desperation, and through that desperation, we become addicted, sort of like the things we accustomed to serving. So
Yeah.
that one would be up there as well. Um, The Wire, man.
There's
Oh,
so many
Lester
from that
Freeman,
one.
season four, season three.
Okay.
Jimmy is they're cops and they're coming in on a Sunday, and
Yeah.
Jimmy and another cop they dressed it up as like city workers to like install like a bug when they're doing. And then Jimmy is like ranting and raving, and he's like, there aren't 10 swinging dicks in the department who could do what we do, Lester. Lester, like, that's great. And he's like, but you know what you need? You need a life, Jimmy. And he goes, what's a life? And he goes, that thing you do while you're waiting for those moments that never come. And I was like,
Mm,
I would probably get that one.
yeah.
That's just off the top, but yeah, if I mean, I'd probably get some more poignant stuff if I sat there and thought about it. But off the top,
Right.
those three would probably be tattooed
Okay.
quotes.
Not mad at that.
So while we have you, man, I'm not, I mean, you might have more than two, but like two pieces of media that are biblical to you, that you go back to, and
Mm.
they give you something new every time.
Ooh, that's tough. I would say probably, hmm, I would say two pieces of media. I might have to cheat a little bit, or just do two movies, maybe, just because albums. I listen to so many
Well,
albums. It's
movies
hard
are
to.
medium, media.
Oh, yeah, true, true. Yeah, yeah, true. I mean, I was gonna because I was thinking about doing two different forms of media, two
Okay,
different
that's
medium
fair.
forms.
That's fair.
Um, so you know what? So I'm gonna go. I know we're supposed to. This person's off the deep end, done horrible things, but it is
I
what it
already know
is.
who this is. We are
I
not
gotta go.
co-signing his current mental state.
Yes, we are really.
we are talking about the art as it is, not who created it.
Yes,
So I don't
yes.
even know who
Shout
wrote
out
The
to
Wire. So, oh, David Simon,
right.
but
Shout
still.
out to all the Jewish community. You know what I'm saying? But I would go College Dropout by Kanye
Okay.
West. Um, Probably favorite line from that album. For that paper, look how low we'll stoop. And even if you're in a bench, you're still a nigga in a coop.
I
That's
like that.
probably that one.
Um,
Really, all of All Falls Down. To be honest, that's one of the greatest and I think most important rap songs of all time to me.
Mine would be mayonnaise colored
Um,
Benz. I push miracle
like
whips.
Miracle Whips.
Um,
Uh,
what's the line of The
I could do a
Wire?
fucking million
And
from
I
that
still
one.
won't grow up. I'm a grown ass kid. Swear I should be locked up for
When I was a
stupid shit that
kid,
I
I swear I
did.
should be like that for stupid shit that it did.
But I'm a champion,
I'm
so
a
I turn
champion, so
music
I
into
turn tragedy
fire.
to triumph, make music with
Tragedy
fire,
to
spin my
triumph. There
soul
you
through the
go.
wire.
There you go. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
up
that
there.
one.
That's up there.
I could go. I mean, Ho's verse will never let me down. That second verse will never let me down. One of his greatest verses of all time. Um, Everybody want to be. Oh, what is it? The reason they hate me, I tell you why. Everybody want to be Hove and Hove's still alive.
Yeah.
What? Um, let's
He
see.
said,
What else? What
I
else?
forget what song it was, and he was like, they said they made Hope. I said, okay, make another one.
Yeah.
If it's that easy, go ahead and make another one.
Right. What's another one from that album? Shit, just the rhyme scheme in two words, where everything is four syllables with him and Mos Def. What? Ah, man, I love that song. That song's poetry. So that's my first like biblical media form. My second one would probably be um mm, either Spider-Man 2 or Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
There are two monologues that are given in those movies that like changed my life, and I will remember till the day I die. So there's a scene where Peter Parker's talking to his grandma Aunt May, and this is after he like remember this is when he loses his powers, so he's like, "Fuck it, I quit."
I never watched
And
that
he's
movie, but
talking
I'm
to
rolling
his
with it.
aunt, and so he's talking to his aunt, and he's like kind of down the dump. He's like depressed and shit, whatever. He lost Mary Jane, his love of his life, whatever. And there's a kid in his neighborhood who's helping his aunt move, and she's like, why they're asking him because remember, Peter Parker shoots the pictures of Spider-Man, and so he's like, "Have you seen Spider-Man? Where's he at? I don't know, man. He wants to do other stuff, blah blah blah." And then he's like, he asks his aunt, why did he want to, why is he confused or why does he care about Spider-Man still? And she has this quote about, everyone needs a hero. Um, she says, oh God, she says, um, they give us strength and they teach you to hold on just a little longer, just a second longer. Sometimes you have to be steady and give up things you want most, even your dreams. Um, there's
I
more
like
lines
it.
to that, but that monologue is legendary to me. And then in Good Will Hunting, there's a scene at the park where he's talking to Robin Williams' character, and it's like a 7 or 8 minute monologue, and he basically just teaches him the importance of uh, intelligence versus wisdom. Where
Yeah.
he's like, if I tell you ask you about love, you could give me quote a sonnet, you could quote Shakespeare. Maybe you've been late a few times, but you don't just like to be with a woman feel fully vulnerable. For her to be her your whole world, and for you to be hers. I could ask you about art, and he's like, "Have you been to the Sistine Chapel? Have you seen the ceiling? Do you know what the smell is to be in that building?" Um, he's like, I don't see a confident man. I see a scared shitless little kid. You know, and he's like, "You never been outside of Boston. You're lording over your intelligence over people, but you're too scared to do anything with it. You're too scared to, go out and experience life." And then there's that other monologue that Ben Affleck gives, where he's like, "Best part of my day is going to your door and hoping you're not there, because you're supposed to not be with us." You know,
Oh,
so
yeah.
those
Okay.
two
I
movies
got you.
are.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that part because he was a smart one and he was like, we're just fuck ups, you know. So reminds me
Yeah,
of
like what the fuck are you doing with us?
that J Cole song "03 Adolescence" when he's like
Hmm.
if you was my man, I was thinking you was a clown right now. You everything I want to be. That's why I fucks with you. So why you looking up to me when I look up to you?
Hmm.
Um, so we got our final four. We got the
Yeah.
Wolves versus the Thunder. We got the Pacers versus the Knicks. Who you got? And in how many games? So let's go West first. Wolves, Thunder, how
All
many
right.
games?
Wolves Thunder. I'm going. Mm, I'm going Wolves in six,
Okay.
and I'm going in the East. I'm going Pacers in seven over the Knicks.
All right. I got Wolves in six. So that's because I don't think they can win a game seven on the road.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, and I got the Knicks in seven. I think I think this game seven in the Garden is just manifest destiny. So we'll go
Yeah.
with that. Yeah. So we went to the beach this weekend. It's our boy Will, another no name poet is his handle, and it was his birthday. So how was the beach?
Yep. It was dope, man. We had a good time. So we went to Kerr Beach out there by like, well, in I guess consider in Wilmington.
How far is
Got
that
a
drive?
dope ass Airbnb. Um, it was like 2.5, close to 3 hours.
Did you
There's a
guys
couple traffic
carpool
jams that
or
took
all
longer than
go
I expected,
separately?
but basically 2.5 hours. Groups of us carpooled. I drove by myself, but there was a couple groups that different people got their different days. So some people drove solo, some people some people carpooled. Um, yes, it was a good time. So we get there. I was the first one to get there, ironically.
That is
So I get there Friday at
that's a
like
sign the weekend's
5.
gonna be great. Uh, it is in the
I know,
stars.
right?
It is written George the first to arrive.
So,
You
so,
headed straight to the
so
lottery.
literally, right? So literally, I pull up, and so we were in the group chat all throughout the course of the week's plan trips and day of whatever. Somebody was like, "Oh, well, I'll probably get there at 4 for check-in, whatever. Then we're going to the store, whatever, whoop de whoop." So I get there at 5 because I didn't want to be the first ones there because I didn't participate in all the initial planning of the event.
Gotcha.
And so I get there like 5, and I pull into the driveway, and I check my phone, and then I see like the main group who got there supposed to get there first. They were like, "Yeah, ETA 5:45." So I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever." I have to house myself for a little bit, so I get into the house, put my stuff up, kind of walk around, check everything, read the little packet, all that stuff.
Doesn't it have to be the
Um,
actual person on the Airbnb to get in to get access? I didn't think anyone could
that's
just
what that's what I thought, but
yeah.
they put the unlocking instructions in the code in the group chat, so I just was like, okay, cool.
Ah, gotcha. All right. I thought that
So I just
yeah, so makes sense.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I just hit the boop, boop, whatever, got in there, unpacked, did a quick celebratory shot,
Let me ask you
chilled
this.
on the patio.
How do you divvy out the rooms? Like is there a bidding process? I mean, sure the birthday
Oh
boy gets
yes,
first choice. Is there a do you pull
right.
cards? Who has picks the highest card gets second choice? How do you do it?
So what they did actually was really cool. So they set up a website where we could all vote on the houses that
Yeah.
we would select. So there was like 4 or 5 houses. Some were 2 stories, some were 3 stories, different bedroom layouts and stuff like that, whatever. I voted for them. We all pretty much voted for the one with the most rooms. So basically, so it was 3 stories. There was one or two like single bedrooms, maybe three. So obviously Will and his lady got that. Another girl got that, and I think another girl got a solo room. And then there was a room with like bunk beds, and then there on the bottom floor, there was a room with like a Murphy bed, and then like just a big sectional. So I was in that room. Um, just kind of checked everything out, go on the patio, chill out for a little bit, solo. Just kind of watch, the ocean, the waves. It was pretty much right on the beach, so that was clutch too. Then I kind of went outside, walked around the beach for a little bit, foot in the water, And I get back to the walking back up to the house. You know when you go on the beach, there's some little showers that you can like,
Yeah.
rinse the sand off and
Rinse
stuff.
the
So they
sand
did
off
they
you. So you don't want to bring sand in the
yeah.
crib.
So they didn't have that. So I was like, oh, I'm like covered in sand right now. So thank Lord I had paper towels in my car. So I'm just like sitting on the porch, just like wiping myself off
I mean,
or
is it that
whatever.
deep? You could just, there's no way to just go in the crib and shower. Is it that serious?
I mean, I just didn't want to track anything, and it was like really sticky. It was like
Fair enough.
so the beach had like there were shells higher up than they were on most beaches. Like it's a shorter beach, like in terms of from sand to the water. So it's just like a lot of seashells and stuff, fragments everywhere. So, so as I'm like cleaning myself off on the porch, they pull up in the car and it's four of them, and they're just like, "Have you just been sitting out here the whole time?"
You have to bathe out here? Like, what's going on, man? I thought we gave you the code.
They were like, "Are you okay?" Like,
Why are you
I
bathing
was like,
outside?
I was like, I was like, no, this isn't what it looks like. And I was like, no, I've already been in the house. I just was on the beach, whatever. That okay, cool, got it. So we go inside, and obviously, Will, he's lever mute, so he has his the Bluetooth speaker. So we turn that bitch on. We're chilling, doing shots, whatever. Hanging out. I hadn't met some of these people before yet, so I'm meeting some people, re-meeting some other people, whatever. And then we're just hanging out. We all brought a bunch of games out and stuff. Um, then the guys were talking about sports because it was the night of game six, Knicks Celtics, and one of the guys on the trip was a Celtics fan. So we're just like, yeah, we
Rough night for him.
sincerely hope y'all. Yeah, so we were watching that game and it got bad early. Um, then more people get there. We're hanging out. We're playing games. Order pizza. We're playing. Have you played Most Likely to?
No, is a no, I haven't. Whatever it is, I haven't
So
played.
it's a card game. It's like twisted superlative. So it'd be like most likely to get stuck in a revolving door,
I get the
most
gist of
likely
it.
to, that sort of thing.
So
So
does a
we
person
played
that's
that.
voted have to drink or something?
Yeah, so we did the way we did it was everybody will vote on the card. First to get five cards, that's a shot. So we just kind of did that over and over again. I ended up doing a lot of them. So
That's what you have to do. You can't do shots. You have to be like, take it. Everyone has a beer and you take a sip of the beer. And women don't really
yeah,
drink beer, but like, you can't. If it's a
right.
shot every time you're pulled, you're gonna black out at 8 o'clock. Like, it's just
Well, it was
like,
for every five cards. It
okay,
wasn't
all right, that's
every
not so bad.
yes, yeah. So yeah, I would have been dead.
Yeah,
And so we did that.
I once
And then
played
we
beer pong, and each glass had a shot in it, and
do
I
you
would
remember the
not
night?
recommend zero. I mean, it wasn't a great night. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but
Yeah.
it's just maybe like a third of the cup should have a shot in it, and then the
Hmm.
rest just have whatever shitty beer we were drinking. But like every cup
Yeah.
having a shot, that's doing too much. I it's
Yeah, they were
that
trying to
was
kill y'all.
way over the top. I
That's
like
yeah,
to
that's
have a
pretty
good time like
excessive.
anybody else. That was doing too much. So like I like to do it with like say there's 8 cups, like 3 of them will have a
Yeah.
shot in it, and the rest will just have
Yeah, yeah,
shitty beer.
yeah.
So
Okay,
and
yeah.
then you move it around to make sure no one knows which one has the shot.
Correct.
But no, you can't have every cup with a shot. That's stupid. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
sorry.
insane. Yeah, so we played that and then we were playing Uno. Played a few rounds of that. What else did we play?
Did y'all go
We
out at all,
played
or was it all a kickback?
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much was all a kickback because so
Nice.
so the area of the state we're in is basically a sundown town.
Okay.
So like pretty much everything closes by like anywhere to get food pretty much is like closed by 9. I literally at one point I was like super hungry and it was like I think it was maybe like 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock, something like that. So I walked down to this little bar and I'm just like go to the bartender and she's like, "Hey, honey, what can I get for you?" And I'm already gone because I've been drinking at the house. So I'm like, "Can I just get like some fries or a hot dog or anything?" And she's like, "Honey, our kitchen's closed." And I
So
was
what? Y'all don't
like,
go to the grocery store when y'all touch down?
"Yeah, we did. We went to the grocery store, but we hadn't cooked yet. We were planning to cook the next night, so we had just ordered pizza for Friday night."
See,
Um,
that's first trip grocery store, second trip liquor
yeah.
store. I don't even and you make sure you get snacks and shit, especially if you know it's a kickback more than going out. But
Well, we didn't. Yeah. Well, we weren't
while
sure
I'm
what we were gonna do. We
drinking,
hadn't planned it.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So we did that. Yeah. They went to the store before they came to the house, which is why I got there first. So that was Friday night. That night got away from me. And then Saturday, got up, made breakfast, hung out for a little bit, got our bearings from the night before, and then we all went out to the beach around 10 or 11 a.m. And we were out there for like 6, 7 hours. So we were playing cards,
Doing beach
drinking,
shit.
whatever. Yeah, doing beach shit,
Yeah.
building sand stuff, all that good stuff, whatever. Um, oh yeah, so we got one of those, like, one of our friends brought one of those big tents where it's got like the big four corners, you put them down in the sand, whatever. And the wind was insane. So at one point, we're laying in the tent and the wind blows the tent completely out of the sand. And it's one of those big heavy ones with all the rods and shit. And so the tent comes up in the air and flips to the point of where it's like a parachute at this point. So it starts flipping down the beach. And it's like, so me and Will take off for sprinting after the after the tent because it's like gonna hit somebody and it's
Yeah.
got metal and shit there. So we're
Also, the shit
sprinting to
wasn't
grab the
free.
thing.
Somebody paid for it. They want it back.
Yeah, that too. It was somebody's tent too.
Right.
Yeah.
It
So
wasn't like it was
so we
free.
so we sprint and we're like, yo, 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 like calling out to people so they know that there's something flying
Yeah.
in their direction. Because I almost hit this white lady. And so we're sprinting, we kept grabbing it. That shit flew like 50 yards in the air. So we bring it back to the location we were at, and of course the tent was broken
Yeah.
because of the wind. It broke the rods or whatever. Um, I accidentally hit a girl in the face with a football. Um, you know how that goes.
You're at
Uh,
the beach. You're drunk at the beach.
yeah,
You're throwing the football.
yep,
You didn't get enough on your hip twist, and you
yep.
sailed it. So you said you lost your debit card? How does that happen?
Oh yeah, so the night before, 2 days before that beach trip, I went to open mic night. It was Will's birthday, and then my friend Quan was a feature, and it was his birthday too. So I was like, I gotta go out with the guys, whatever. And then so we're, getting faded and stuff. And so I uh did a did a tab, which I usually don't do in places where they keep your car, but I was like, fuck
Yeah.
it, whatever.
I never, ever,
So
ever
I
do that at places that hold the card.
and that's why I was like, yep, nope, not doing that again. So I so I signed it, and I left my card in the envelope, and then I slid it back, but I thought I put it in my pocket. And then so I get to the next spot later that night, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have it on me, but it's too late for me to go back and get
Yeah.
it. So then I DM them the next day, like, hey, can I stop by after work and get the card? And they're like, oh, we're closed for tonight because we're actually going to be out of town. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, can I get it Friday? And I'm leaving Friday for the beach at like 2 o'clock, and they're like, yeah, just stop by Friday around 9 p.m. I was like, oh, I'll be out of town. So can I like meet y'all any earlier or anything like that, whatever? And they left me on scene. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that card off and apply for a new card or whatever. Thank God for the mobile app. I could do it in real time and get my digital card.
I was gonna say if
Um,
you go to the bank branch, they'll give you a temporary one that will. I mean, there's some restrictions on it, but it works just like a debit card
right.
until your real one gets in the mail. But they did you give you a digital one,
Yeah, they gave me a digital one
so
so I
you
could
just throw
use
it on
Apple Pay
Google
and
Pay or
stuff.
Apple Pay. Huh?
Yeah, so I just did Apple Pay, and then luckily I had taken out cash for the weekend and stuff anyway, so I was good on money. Um, but yeah, so
Never, ever,
kids,
ever.
never ever leave your card, or don't always close your tab out. Don't just leave a tab open
No, well,
for the
that's fine.
thieves.
Like, I don't care. Like, if you swipe my card and give it back, I don't care. Well, whatever your
Right,
pre-auth is, I got it. I don't give a shit. I just don't like
right.
bars that hold the physical card.
Yeah, I don't see why you
Like
need to do that
just
still.
well, some systems are they don't like some places. Johnson Street something yacht club, like
Yacht Club, yeah,
they
they
will
keep it.
physically hold your card.
Yeah,
And I like the place enough, so I'll just one and I'll just swipe each drink. But most places like
yeah,
that, I'll one and done it because I just don't. I'm not gonna
yeah.
pay. I'm not gonna pay as I go for every drink, and I also don't want you holding my card. So I'm just
Correct.
gonna go to a bar that's in the 21st century that can swipe it and give it back. So,
Right,
like I don't like. Look, I get it. You don't know me. I don't know you. You're not. You want some sort of guarantee. I ain't mad
right.
about that. Swipe it and give it back. Pre-auth for whatever you need to do. I don't care what
Correct.
your number is. It's fine. Give it back to me. I'll sign at the end of the night. But what I cannot abide by is you holding my physical card because I'm going to be drinking, which is going to skew my judgment. And that's like, and it's like while I'm sober, let me make the decision that my debit card has to be on my person at all times.
Yes, 100%.
Um,
Um,
Debit, credit card, whatever. It just has to be on my person.
yeah, I
Uh,
feel you. Yeah, I was like, yep, nope, this is why I don't do that.